ultimately do you think those two players will be at the start of next season?
Well, I really think that LeBron ultimately, depending on what happens with Bosh and Wade, will end up in Miami. A month ago, I would have said that Carmelo would end up in New York, but I do think that the landscape has changed somewhat. And I think there's very plausible scenarios where you could see it end up in a variety of places. Houston's going to be somewhat appealing. Chicago probably the most intriguing because of the roster they already have and the fact that they're in the Eastern Conference. So it's a potential that the potential exists that you could see him on the move. But remember, too, that you're also going to have to make a tremendous sacrifice to make that change. These guys are max potential players, so they're going to have to leave a lot of money on the table, no matter what their decision is. And so that's going to play a role in it as well. But again, ultimately, these guys want to have a chance to win. And if you're Carmelo Anthony coming off a disastrous season in New York, where he actually had a very good season, one thing we learned with LeBron is that no matter how great you are, you can't do it by yourself. And everybody just talk about big three. All the championship teams, for the most part, have always had multiple Hall of Famers on them. You go back into the 70s and the 80s with the Lakers and the Sixers and the Celtics. All those championship teams had multiple Hall of Famers on them. So it's no different today. It's just that the rules are different. The fact that now you have the flexibility in free agency to be able to kind of determine your own fate.
We got to say goodbye, unfortunately, to Greg Anthony.
Okay,
Greg,
hey guys,
thank you
I gotta
so
run.
much.
I'm sorry, but thank you for your time.
That's okay. We're going to watch you tonight. NBA TV's 2014 NBA Draft Preview starts at 5 p.m. Eastern, and that's leading up to the first pick. But I'll come back in studio and pose the same question to you guys. Andre, where do you think LeBron and Carmelo are going to end up?
I think the only major move we'll see is by Carmelo. He has a lot of, like Greg said, intriguing teams who have pieces in place for him to come right in and join the team and make a deep run, whether it be the Western or Eastern Conference. So he has some important decisions to make for himself.
You want him in the Western Conference?
I don't care. I plan on seeing those guys anyway, because I want to go to the finals.
You got to guard him.
Drew, where do you think LeBron and Carmelo are ending up?
LeBron, I think he's going to stay in Miami. I think eventually both Wade and Bosh, they're going to opt out, and then they're all going to take a little bit less money, and then they're going to be a free agent player. I'm not sure if they're going to get somebody like a Carmelo, but I think maybe possibly upgrading at the point guard position, maybe a guy like Kyle Lowry or somebody like that. And then when you talk about Carmelo, I think it's the same thing. I agree completely with Greg in that, possibly Chicago or even Houston. If I was him, I'd probably try to stay east, just, because with all the teams out there in the West, and Andre knows it a whole lot better than me, in the Eastern Conference, it's almost like you get by that first round playoff series rather easily. And then it kind of everything heats up once you get to the semifinals. But out there in the West, it could be a 1-8, a 2-7, 3-6. It doesn't make a difference. You're competing every night.
Hey there, I hope you enjoyed this clip from our daily live show, SI Now. You can find a link to the complete episode in the description box below. And while you're there, make sure you subscribe to Sports Illustrated's YouTube channel. It's not just SI Now, it's Girls in Bikinis, because we got your back. Remember, you can watch SI Now Monday through Friday live at 1 p.m. Eastern, only on SI.com. We hope to see you there with the Girls in Bikinis.